everyone. Welcome to This Day. It is Wednesday and it is June 15th. We have a couple meetings to tell you about today. So at 1:30 this afternoon is the GRF Finance Committee meeting, and that'll be at 1:30 this afternoon. And then we have the third new resident orientation. Now to participate, you will want to send an email to info@lagunawoodsvillage.com, and they will be gathering in the boardroom at 4:30. All right, on our show today, we have Stuart Spencer, who is here on behalf of Advanced Ear Care. He's got some good information for us regarding some technology. And then we have Judith Troutman, who is here on behalf of the Disaster Preparedness Task Force. And of course, she's always got lots of great information. We never know when we're going to have a disaster, so we always need to be prepared. Okay, let's take a look at our weather. Well, of course, we are still looking at the morning fog, June gloom, as we always call it. And today is no different. As soon as we burn off the morning fog, we are looking at some pretty good temperatures. Take a look at these numbers. We are looking at 79, 62, 80, 64, 75, 62, 71, 58, partly sunny, and then mostly sunny on Sunday, 73, 59 for the Father's Day. Now, let's take a look at our sunrise this morning. Was at 5:40, and the sunset will be at 8:03. And Debbie, thank you for sending in this photo, of course, of the June gloom. And it looks like we have a lot of seaweed and some birds out there that morning. So thanks for sending that in. And yes, that is one of our summertime photos. So please feel free to send in your summertime photo and email it to lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. All right, when we come back, we'll have Stuart Spencer, so stay tuned.
Adventure has a new look. The 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness. Shore-footed symmetrical all-wheel drive. Paired with all-terrain Yokohama Geolander tires. Plus 9.2 inches of ground clearance. Discover adventure on a deeper level. The all-new 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness.
Irvine Subaru. Buy online, just come in to sign. Get 2 years complimentary maintenance included on all new Subarus.
Diane's Hallmark in Laguna Niguel is now an Elam's Hallmark, and we are excited to be part of your community. We have just remodeled, and you will be surprised by the wide variety of fashion and accessories, home decor, collectibles, Disney, Peanuts, Harry Potter, and Star Wars, along with the largest Hallmark card selection in town. Stop in today and sign up for our Crown Rewards program and get a free Just Because card. Once a member, you can get a free card once a month. Elam's Hallmark, your neighborhood gift store.
Your body is made for work, play, and adventure. All the things that make life amazing. But when pain gets in the way, turn to Hoag Orthopedic Institute to get you back to doing the things you love. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, we're experts at getting you out of pain and back to golf, running, or yoga. Whatever makes you, you.
Hearing aids require a lot of attention. Don't underestimate the problems earwax can cause. Come in and see inside your own ear canals to find out how much blockage you have. Debris like earwax can cause up to 45% reduction in amplification. Your hearing aids may be able to be significantly improved to help you hear conversations clearly with a simple office visit. Every day, patients say, "Oh my gosh, that sounds so much better." Stop in or call us today for a complimentary cleaning and ear inspection. Tell them Stuart sent you.
Welcome back. As I mentioned, we have Stuart Spencer here on behalf of Advanced Ear Care. Well, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Lisa. Nice to be back.
I'm glad to have you back. And I was just telling you before we came on that, you know, you're real close to the Dollar Tree. And one of these days, I'm just going to pop in.
Do it. Come in.
So I don't want to I know you're very busy, so maybe I'll just wave hi.
We always have time for you.
All right, well, we've got some good information for folks. And of course, you know, you've been in the community for a really long time. You've been caring for our patients, our residents for a really long time.
42 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Wow,
yeah,
wow.
It's kind of scary, actually.
You know, how many patients do you see in a day?
So anywhere from 15 to 25.
Oh, that's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, that's just me. You know, that we have the 2 other people or 3 other people, depending on what day it is, in the office. So it's a pretty busy schedule, but we really enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, then I would imagine that your appointments don't take super long. I mean, they're, what, about 20 minutes each time?
You know what? It just really depends. You know, it can be 15 minutes, it can be 5 minutes. You know, if somebody just has their hearing aid plugged up and need it clean. It can be an hour and a half, you know, if they go through a real diagnostic evaluation and, you know, talk about a lot of the different options and look at their insurance stuff. And, you know, so it just depends on what it is. But usually it's a great combination, you know, kind of breaks the day up with the different styles of appointments and things we do.
Okay, all right, well, excellent. So I know you focus on your patients, and it's important for you to have a relationship with them, obviously, because you're not going in and out, you know, you take time.
That's right.
Is that one of the most important things for you guys?
You know, it's a big deal on our end just to have the relationship with our patients. And I mean, now, you know, we're fitting a lot of the children that we fit, you know, 25 years ago, right? So I mean, you know, so I mean, we have those kind of relationships.
Okay.
You know, let alone the referrals we get and those type of things. But, you know, so much of today, Lisa, you know, what we're looking at and seeing in the market is, you know, all about, you know, mail order hearing aids, buy this one for $299. You know, I'm watching infomercials on TV for rechargeable, and you know, all the hearing aids look the same, you know, and they're thinking, oh, well, why would I pay, you know, what you charge, you know, versus what I pay, you know, if I just buy it online. And it's so much, you know, not about that. You know, it's about what we're trying to accomplish with the technologies that we have. And, you know, a lot of these people, I'll just be honest, you know, just say, hey, you know what, I'm older. I don't know how long I'm gonna live. You know, why would I spend that much money on a hearing aid? And I said, you know, what else do you have but your hearing and the relationships you have with the people around you?
Right.
Your friends, your family. This is the most valuable thing that you can really invest in, you know, and it's gonna be a big difference for you. And they do that, and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm so happy that I made that decision to upgrade or to change or to get hearing aids in the first place. It's so not about the product, you know, it's about developing those relationships.
Right, well, also, I think you also, in what you're saying is quality of life, because like you said, people get to an age where it's like, you know, why bother? But then when they hear, it's like, well, now you don't have to say what, you're actually participating in the conversations now.
That's right. And you know, the nice thing is when you do talk about product, I mean, we're in a place with this new ARC product that we have that's unbelievable. You know, and this engineer, I was just at a big conference in Vegas, about 800 of us, looking at the technologies and really what they're doing with the current hearing aids and where that's going. And you know, this guy, this head engineer from Intel came over and developed these new products, and he says, you know what, we're not stopping at the ear, you know, we're going beyond the ear into mapping the brain sound, and that's what's giving people better speech clarity. And I mean, day after day after day, you know, you'll see a clip here, you know, just shortly of Marlee Matlin. You know, and she said, you know, Academy Award winning Best Actress of the Year, right? For Coda, for her part in Coda. And she says, you know, Stuart, you know, I'm deaf and I can hear.
Having a beer. Oh my God, I'm having a great Monday. Do you know why? Oh my God, they're the best, the best. I'm so happy. It's much more clear, crystal clear. I may be deaf, but I can hear.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Thank you. I love you.
And that's after I fit her with these hearing aids.
Wow.
And I mean, I fit her for years, and I've never got a comment like that out of her.
Wow.
But she's famous and beautiful and everything else.
Yeah.
But I mean, we do it every day for people right here in the village.
Yeah.
I mean, the exact same way, and they come back with the same responses. It's like, oh my goodness, Stuart. You know, this is just a different kind of hearing system.
So is ARC technology, is that made by Intel?
So no, it's made by Starkey. Starkey Audibel, you know, developed that with this engineer that came over from Intel, did this whole research and development, and I mean, he's worked with it for about 4 years, and now it's really at a place that's just unbelievable.
Right.
The really fun thing about this is, when they get this technology, you know, typically like, okay, 3 years later, something comes out, now they have to upgrade their hearing aids. Now it's an open platform chip in the hearing aid. So when they develop better algorithms, algorithms are the instructions to the digital hearing aid on how to work.
Right.
We just upload them into the hearing aid they have. so the technology grows with them and they hear better,
Interesting.
you know, for the same investment they made originally.
Oh,
Pretty
that's
powerful.
that is great. Now, I would imagine that you only go so far back in terms of age of hearing aids to be able to upload the information, right?
It's got to be the right platform. That's
Okay.
right. You can't take one from 10 years ago and put this stuff in it.
Okay.
It's just not possible.
Okay. And then when somebody wants to upgrade to the ARC technology, you know, how is insurance handling this? I mean, I know some they pay, some they don't pay, partial, whole. How does that work?
So, you know, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, just last week, you know, I had a gentleman come in, you know, good-looking man, you know, about 70, and he's an interpreter, you know, and, you know, he doesn't want anybody to see his hearing aid. You know, it's just really important to him. So, you know, he wanted a small hearing aid in the ear, said, no problem, you know, check his insurance benefit. They don't buy any in-the-ear hearing aid. You know, they just send him a hearing aid in the mail. They don't even know what his hearing loss is. He said, well, I don't want that.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a lot of that.
That's terrible.
That the insurance doesn't really match the need, you know, and then others do, you know, and there's
Right.
like $500 or some kind of benefit or a percentage or,
Right.
you know, those type of things. We work with all of them, you know,
Right.
all of them. So we call them every single day on every single patient because they're so different. There's thousands of them, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so we always just make sure it blends in and they maximize those benefits.
Well, exactly. And boy, you really have to be careful about what insurance you're going to use if you would like to have hearing aids covered and a couple of other things. So they got to do the research.
Yeah, and you know, it's so misleading so many times because they say, oh, hearing aids are covered under their coverage, Medicare Plan B, right? But what is that coverage?
Right.
You know, and that's what you have to really drill down into
Right.
and find out what it is.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not very valuable.
Well, or they're going to be sending you something that you have never even looked at or tried or something like that.
Right, and then, you know, the frustrating part to that is then people say, oh, well, I tried hearing aids, they don't work.
Yeah.
They didn't ever have a
Experience.
chance to be successful. You know?
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for the information.
No, you're
I
welcome, Lisa.
appreciate it. And of course, you're just right down the way in the Aldi Shopping Center. And of course, if somebody wanted to contact you, your phone number is?
It's 949-830-5330.
And then there's also an alternate number you can use, which is your one that's in your commercial.
That's right, and that'll be on the screen.
Exactly. You guys can call that one.
There
It's
it is.
354-0040.
And the next
Perfect.
time you're at Dollar Tree.
I'll be popping in.
Right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
And remember, if you want more information about the ARC technology, you can always go to advancedearcare.com. We'll be right back.
People with hearing loss only know the way they hear, not how much better they should be hearing. How well are you hearing? Are you understanding 60% or maybe only 30%? You don't know unless someone measures your hearing understanding ability. People are wearing hearing aids that are underfit with power, not programmed properly, the physical fit is too loose or too tight. Find out what your understanding score is with a special word test from Advanced Ear Care. Stop in today and tell them Stuart sent you.
Welcome back. Well, we never know when we're going to have a disaster, so we are here to talk about preparing for one with Judith Troutman. Well, Judith, it's always a pleasure to see you. How are you?
Fine, loving the weather.
Yeah, I know. It's been nice. And I know that I actually have an interview coming up with the Orange County Fire Department because we're going to talk about fire. I mean, that's always on our forefronts of our mind. And they say that it's fire season all year long now. It doesn't even matter. It just happens to be that way. So we are here to talk to you about some preparation of what we can do in case of any disaster. So welcome. Let's get started because now we have a lot to cover.
Okay, the first thing, and I think I sent you an overhead slide, is why I'm here.
Yeah.
And everyone should know the level of preparedness before a disaster hits will be directly proportional to your quality of life for the hours, days, and even months after a disaster.
Right.
So, and that comes from the ECA Earthquake County Alliance. So Disaster Preparedness Task Force was first organized in Laguna Woods back in 1989 and considered entirely or consisted entirely of mostly volunteers that functioned under the Golden Rain Foundation in cooperation with our security department.
Right.
The purpose was to keep the residents aware and informed and prepared for any major disaster. We actually have a charter that was put together, which is a governing document by GRF. So we are mandated, and it's too much to read, by a governing document from the Golden Rain Foundation.
Okay.
And one of the first things on there was the task force serves as a liaison between the Golden Rain Foundation and the board of directors and the security division, okay, regarding any disaster preparedness. So that's what mandates us and gives us our guidelines. And prior to 2016, the task force published and maintained a series of articles in preparation and offered residents free related training classes and low-cost emergency supplies.
Right.
All of the supplies I brought today that I'll hit on just briefly, we sell at cost. We make no money on them at all.
Right.
And so this task force has always been pretty much manned by volunteers here in the village, and we need more volunteers. We are drastically reduced the last couple of years in one of our programs, the Good Neighbor Captain program. And they're sort of the backbone of the task force because they, in a natural disaster, power may be down, our phone lines won't work, and so you will not be able to call 911 yourself.
Right.
Therefore, the most likely and the first residents that may get help will be the buildings that have a good neighbor captain.
Right.
And I know that sounds sort of scary, but that's actually true because let's say in the 3-story buildings, you only have to have 8 manners or 1 floor to be a building or a good neighbor captain. This is not to be confused with a 3-story building captain. There are 2 completely different jobs. And the good neighbor volunteer is the quickest way and the surest way that your life-threatening emergency will get passed to the first responders.
So if they want to be a good neighbor captain, do they contact you or do they contact the security department?
They contact the office. We have an office on the 1st floor.
Okay.
And I think you have it on there.
We do. We have that, so we can get that to them. Right. That's on the ground floor of the community center.
Yes, and we have a phone number, and you can either come in or call us, and we will send you an application to be a volunteer. The number is 949-597-4237.
Okay, perfect.
So I meant to get that one to you. Okay, and so what does a good neighbor captain do? Basically, it's your job to educate your 8 or 10 neighbors that you've chosen.
Right.
And you just knock on their door and go door to door, and you hand them this kit already made up that we give you. So it's not that much work, and you give them that packet, and there's all kinds of good information in there how they can be prepared.
Great.
And then you let them know that in a real disaster, you will come back and knock on their door and check for any major injuries. And then as a good neighbor captain, it's your job to get that information to the radio shack over at Clubhouse 1.
Okay.
Because they're going to have the only form of communication at
Right.
that point.
So it's real important for, the cluster, like you said, to have somebody that represents all of them. So that way, that individual can communicate, like you said, with all of the other folks that are involved to make sure that they're all on the same page. Now, when you talk about, and I wanted to make sure that you get to some of these other items, but why don't we have you come back and we'll have maybe you and Eric Nunez talk about the Good Neighbor Captain, and we'll go more in depth about that, and maybe you can have some samples of what they get. Let's touch real quick on some of these little items here. I know that you have a slide that talks about extra items that can go inside your survival kit, but tell me just quickly what you have some things here.
Okay, this one is $20, and it's a first aid kit, and there's actually enough in here to do a minor surgery. I can.
It looks like it, man. You got enough for the whole army.
There's hundreds of things in there.
Great.
And that's only $20, and it could be for your car.
But that
and your
does not
closet.
come in that survival kit.
No, it does
Okay,
not.
that's extra.
You could buy it and
Okay.
put it in there.
Okay.
This one is $12, and it's for two, and it just has the water and the food.
Oh, okay.
And the food bar, it has 2,400 calories. So this could feed one big man, if he's very active, for one day, or a lady as small as you, maybe for 4 days,
Okay.
depending on your calorie intake. It's 2,400 calories.
Okay.
So there's 6 little bars in there.
Okay, does it taste any good?
It's like an oatmeal bar.
Okay.
Yeah, it tastes like an oatmeal bar. And the only other good thing in here is a light, but all it does is work by,
Oh, yeah. You guys
Yeah.
showed us that before. It's great. A little
Yeah.
hand crank.
but that's all it does, is
Yeah.
it's a light. And
Okay. Cool.
so this is a whistle that if you come into the office and buy something, we'll give you a free whistle. And this is the file of life everybody should have.
Oh, yeah.
Because the first responders know to go to your refrigerator. So it'll have all your vital information, and it has a...
That goes on the outside, yeah.
So
You
that-
also had a little pet thing one time where you put like save my pet. Don't you do that in the window?
Yeah, we are out of them.
Oh,
So
okay.
I did not bring them.
That's
I
okay.
want people to come into the office.
Okay.
And we do have a pet rescue plan.
Oh,
and
good,
I can't
okay.
go over it today
Yeah,
because
that's a big one.
it's too much.
I think we could
But-
spend the whole time just on
Yeah.
one subject.
Yeah, we have a pet
Yeah,
rescue
that's
plan,
good.
and it's about 12 pages. So
Great.
please come into the office if you have a pet.
Okay.
There's a registration form in here,
Okay.
and you will register your pet, and there's a special group that monitors the pets, and they have meetings of their own.
Okay, that's awesome.
So,
Now,
yeah.
one last thing, let's talk about the water heater, because I know I just recently had an issue with my water heater, so I wanted to touch on that because everybody has a water heater. And what are some
have
things
this?
that we should, yeah, we do have
Okay.
that slide. So what are some things we should be looking out for?
Well, keep this stored by your water heater, and what's important, everyone that has a water heater has that emergency water. But just like any container, this is sealed. If you're
Okay.
going to want water to come out of the bottom, you'd hook this up
Yeah.
to the on and off valve here.
Yeah.
You're going to have to release the valve at the top to release the suction, or the water will not drain.
Right.
And that's what people forget to do.
Ah,
So that's important. And when we give you one of these when you come in and buy the hose for $7 in the
Okay.
office.
Okay.
And we'll teach you how to use it, and keep this with this by your water heater.
yeah, it's definitely something you're going to need, especially
That's $7.
if we can't have water. That's
Yeah.
perfect. That's
So-
perfect. Okay, excellent. Well, I wanted to make sure we touched on that. And then just real quick, this big survival kit here is something you sell downstairs.
Yes, this is $42, and it's got an array of stuff in it, even tape. You can actually build
Yes, you
a
can.
shelter with
You can
duct
fix
tape.
everything with duct tape.
Yeah, duct tape is so good. But this light is a little bit nicer than the other
Yeah,
light.
yeah.
This light has a radio and an alarm, but it also, you hand crank it,
Yeah.
but it will also charge your phone.
Oh, yeah,
So
cool.
if you at least have a phone tower somebody nearby, you can charge it with your hand, and it's got a place to plug in to charge your phone.
That's perfect.
So that's a real handy gadget. You can buy just this alone online for $17 at Amazon.
Oh, wow. And how much was the whole kit again?
The whole kit's $42.
$42. That's
and
great.
at cost, and there's about $50 worth of stuff in there.
That's great. Well, I appreciate you sharing all this information with us. It is great stuff. Of course, we'll have you back again maybe next month, and we'll just pick one thing.
One thing.
And we'll talk about just that one thing, okay?
Because there's so much.
I know there is. Thank you again for bringing everything.
My pleasure.
All right.
Okay. And we want to give this to you.
Oh, okay, good. Well,
This
thank
is
you.
yours, and
oh,
that's
I
yours.
get my own survival kit.
You get
Yay.
and a whistle.
Oh, good. Oh, the crew's going to love me and my whistle. All right. Thank you again.
Okay.
All right. If you want more information about the Disaster Preparedness Task Force and be a neighbor captain, a good neighbor captain, or if you want some of this stuff, you can always go to the first floor of the Community Services Center between the hours of 10 and 12. We'll be right back. Blow my whistle in.
Village Television presents Friday Films, only on Village Television. Fridays at 2 and 6 p.m. Foreign films, dramas and comedies, award-winning films, romance and mystery, independent films. Every Friday, only on Village Television.
It's Wednesday, and we've got the movie previews for you. Now, Friday is our International Film Friday. So in honor of that, we are showing Lunana, A Yak in the Classroom. Now, that is a very interesting film, and I think you'll really enjoy it. It's in a Tibetan language, and although, of course, there will be subtitles, so you'll have to check that out at 2 and 6 p.m. on Friday, and that is brought to you by Harvard Eye Associates. Then on Saturday, we have another, it's kind of an international film. It's India Sweets and Spices, but it is in English, and that is 2 and 6 p.m. on Saturday, and you can see that on Saturday. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our, well, actually, let me give you one preview of Dad's Day, which is coming up this weekend on Sunday. And it hasn't sold out yet, so go ahead and call right away to get your tickets, and you can do that through Recreation, and you can email them at recreation@vmsinc.org, and or you can call them at 949-597-4382 to enjoy Father's Day brunch at Clubhouse 5 at 11 a.m. on Sunday. And then also, just for all those 90s folks out there, there is a beautiful celebration for them with a lovely lunch. That is going to be on Tuesday, June 21st in Clubhouse 5. Now, all those 90 and overs are free. However, if you have a caregiver or somebody that's going to be attending with you, they have a small charge of $21, and that'll be for all the food and performances and entertainment. So give a call to 949-597-4382, recreation@vmsinc.org. Okay, let's take a look at our weather. As I mentioned, we are going to be burning off this fog every morning, probably for the rest of June, because we are in June gloom, but we are looking at sunny skies, 79, 62, 80, 64, 75, 62, 71, 58, and 73, 59. Have a great day in the Village. We will see you again tomorrow right here at 9 a.m. Bye-bye.
At Freedom Village, we want you to create a life worth believing in.
Staff is fantastic. Whenever you need help, they're there to help you.
I met so many people. I have so many friends now compared to when I was, living by myself. I didn't have hardly any friends.
I have to say it was one of the best decisions of my life.
It's like living in a resort. It's just the nicest way to live.
Laguna Woods Dental Care, our goal is to serve and provide dental services to the residents of Laguna Woods. Dr. Mohsen Mahmood is currently specializing in senior dental care from USC Dental School and has been serving the Laguna Woods community for over 16 years. At Laguna Woods Dental, our top priority is your overall wellness, ensuring your current medications do not affect your oral health. We offer a convenient plan for $250 a year that includes exam, x-rays, and all types of cleanings are covered. Our office is located right outside of gate number 3. Come book your appointment today.